Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. I have the final part for documenting yourself and the ideas. Now, when I was looking through all of my albums and looking for ideas to talk about these topics and these ideas, which we are covering today, travel, home, favorite color, and holidays. So 4 different topics that we're covering. And when I was looking through my albums, I noticed that I don't have a lot of scrapbook pages about any of the topics, really. It feels like this video is gonna be shorter, and I hope that you enjoy it. And you know, the other thing that it showed me is that I guess I focus more on the everyday stories, more stories that are really like personal and pertain to just me and not necessarily holidays or anything like that. I also know that I do scrapbook the holidays in an overview in my family's project life. So that's why these videos are a little bit shorter, but I think you guys will still get lots of ideas out of them. And I hope you've enjoyed this entire series. It's been a labor of love, like I said, and I'm excited to share these ideas with you. Last thing I want to mention is that I mentioned several times in my video different sections is that I am stretching the theme, and I think that with any of the ideas that I've given you, you can stretch the idea to fit what you want to document, as long as you're just making an effort to try to tell your story. If it fits the holiday a smidge, that's great. If it has you in it and it tells some of your story, that's even better, and that's the whole point, right? Okay, let's go over to my desk and check out the first section is going to be all about travel. That covers ideas 45 and 46, because it's really basic, right? Document your travels, get the photos that you love and that pertain to you. And that's what I try to do when I am documenting my travels. I look at the photos and I pick out ones that are my favorites, have me in them. And you can see here, I did that with this project from 2017, I believe. Yes, September, and I included a photo of me with the kids. I love this one. I used to take this all the time when my daughter was really little. And you can see I'm holding on to her. And then, not the best photo, but I took it with the sand washing up on my feet. So love capturing vacations like this. And like I said, I'm not the best at documenting vacations, either in my albums or in regular albums, but I would love for that to be something that I could focus on maybe next year. Here's something that I didn't find in any of my other albums. I have 2 back-to-back vacation spreads, and I'm really impressed with myself. I used a lot of In a Creative Bubble here, and I think these acrylic pieces are Ellie's Studio. But I even included an insert. This was a trip to Santa Cruz. I inserted some photos here. One on this journaling card. You flip it, you see some more journaling cards. And then we took such a nice hike that I included another page about the hike and nature. And I know you guys have already seen this project, but it worked for this example as well, that I'm documenting our vacation. And you could stretch this even to like your favorite color, which is the next idea that I was going to talk about a little bit, is that you can not only document your favorite color, but you can also just bring it into your projects more often. So for me, green is my favorite color, and I went all out with that monochromatic green, and then adding in just a little bit of neutrals. The next few examples are going to be kind of like stretching the theme, but again, like I've talked about throughout this series, this is kind of interpretive to what you want to make it. So this was on a vacation with my husband and family, and it was actually our first vacation where we were with Oma and Opa. That my in-laws like watch the kids. They kind of watch themselves because they were next door in hotel rooms. But anyways, it was the first time we could go out on a hike together. And well, we tried to go on a hike, but got a scare by a skunk. So this is a page I wrote just, using some stash projects. And I think I shared this project fairly recently. You could also think of travel as going to local places and talking about local places. We have a special place called Apple Hill that we love going to each year, and on this tire swing that we found, I really enjoyed going with the kids, so I documented this and went all out with all the stampy layering. Here's another one that kind of stretches the theme. This one is again exploring your local hometown and going to a paint night, and also going to like some sort of market. So that's another way to think of as travels. Another beach example of a little trip, a little getaway we took to the beach. Apparently, I really love documenting beach trips and trips in the summer. But again, it's Kelly Stamps way back in 2019, I believe. So yes, this was 2019 that this page was done, and I know just a quick look at vacation ideas. Again, I said it at the beginning, I'm not that great at it, but that's okay. Travel is ideas 45 and 46, making sure that you get favorite photos of a trip or travel what you love and dislike. So now we're gonna go on to favorite colors. So now let's talk quickly about favorite colors. I thought that would be something fun to include. And the list of ideas I gave you guys is not only a place to get inspiration, but also jumping off points, as Allie Edwards says. But I think you could not only document your favorite color, like taking pictures around your house, maybe the clothes that you wear that are that favorite color, and you could also just use that color more in your scrapbooking because you love that color. So this is an example of my favorite color because it was part of the All About Me project, which I believe Heba Al-Sabai started that project, I believe. And I do it every few years. I think the last time I did it was 4 years ago, so I'm probably gonna do it in 2025. But there's prompts for you to do throughout, you know, the month of January. That's when it's usually done. So this was favorite color, and I always think of my plants when I think of favorite color. So I had a photo and then just paired it with a frame of stamping in the greenery. And then another prompt was like a feature, and for me, I just thought of my freckles and decided to kind of do it old school and trim out my photo and then add in, you know, lots of green to kind of pair with this page, and also some dots around it. Here's another one. I may have shown you this already, but this is a really good example of, I see green in the background of my photo and I'm more than likely gonna go monochromatic. I don't really count the neutrals, so this is all green, mostly green, and it's a beautiful, easy page. And that's the other thing, when you embrace your favorite colors and just go for monochromatic, then it really works out great, and it makes it easy on you, and you're able to have fun playing with just one color. And then if you go to the front, my cover, I also did all green. I had a chipboard that was green and figured, you know what? That is permission to go ahead and use green, my favorite color, and I love how this introduction page turned out. Here's a fun project that I did just using bits and pieces. I remember taking this photo, and then at this point I'd like just learned how to type some text on photo, I think. I don't even remember where I did this, probably Instagram. But I do know that it was like brand new to me and I was excited. So I went ahead and printed this out and used a bunch of pieces from the Grow kit to document this quote right here. So again, every time I do green, or a lot of the times I do green, it's all about nature and lots of greenery. This cover page you've already seen. I went with green because it was grow. That was my word of the year that I was trying to focus on. So again, a direct invitation to use all the green. This one right here, I think what I really wanted to document was this quote, and there was like this empty space here, and I knew this project was going to come after and be 2 pages. So I used a ton of Kelly Stamps digital stamps to make my various cards, and then paired in some chipboard. So again, lots of different shades of green, but it all works. This one you've already seen, but again, it is just green and yellow. For this one, I went a little bonkers with the labels. I'm not sure if it works, but goodness, you guys, did I have the best time. I loved this. I wanted to document a cycling photo that I loved. I feel like I had a tough selfie going on here. So I took a bunch of different labels and just made 2 different cards and put them along on the side, and I, went crazy with the labels, like I said. So bike ride and embracing my favorite color of green. This one was the first project that I did with this particular kit. I think it's the Seek kit, but I knew that I could definitely use this card. It's kind of like a gradient, I think, but it has mostly my greens that I love, and it paired really well with this photo about transitioning back into school and also back into working. So I just used the photo and then did a frame of leaves. This one didn't necessarily turn out the way I wanted, but I still really loved the fact that I was able to do this project fairly soon after this photo was taken and document that shift in seasons of life. Here's a fun example of a green spread. I decided to just use the photos that were more neutral, and the ones that didn't fit the green color scheme, then I just changed them into black and white. I used some paint swatches there. I did a stamped card there digitally. I also really liked how this was green, so that's kind of where the inspiration came to as well. And then this in a creative bubble card. This actual album is not one that I've really shown in these videos. This is from 2017, but a great example of one color celebrating my favorite color, which is green. One more little example. Again, this is nature, and there is other pops of colors like blues and yellows. But see, I also try in nature to find the colors of green, and this is one of my favorite types of flower. It's called a wild carrot or a bird's nest. I love it. So I, of course, had to document it. So you can see here now that we have talked about travel and also favorite colors. So now we're gonna move on to home and some ideas about documenting your home and the various seasons. The next topic is going to be home and documenting the various stories from your home. And it doesn't, as I always say, it does not have to directly relate to this is my home, this is the story. This one, I just took a simple picture of this new photo wall. I had been sent these acrylic frames, and so I wanted to document that in my notebook, and I just printed out a bunch of digital pieces, kept it very simple, and called it good. I think that if I go back, I should add a little note about this photo wall. This one is from 2020. I love getting porch photos, mainly during Week in the Life. So I took this one and used it for my album. That way I could kind of document Week in the Life. And also that it was 2020 and we were stuck in a very odd year. Another one from 2020 is documenting my various plants on my porch. I love documenting them. I'm not so great at taking care of them. I usually try to get friends to help me take care of my plants, but I love having them on my porch. When I was looking through examples time and time again, I saw that I really love to document the changes in my scrapbook area and what my desk looks like, what my area looks like, and I love that. This is from 2017. I had a planner here and just my whole mess and just documenting the everyday. Same thing here. Spent a lot of time with the kids in the backyard when they were littler, and I just got a photo of us, set up a timer, got the photo, and then talked about staying home and just what we do on Sundays. This is a fun one, again, of my scrapbook area. Mandy Ford came out with a really cute kit about crafting and cats, and I loved it. So I took a photo, put it across both spreads to show my space, like what it looks like. And that, like I said, that's a big theme in my albums, is documenting my space. And then later on, just a few months later, my friend Michelle put out a printable kit about crafting. So I used that to make another updated page of me in my space, and then various spots in my space. And I just love it. And you can totally tell, like, love my space. I'm thankful for my space, so that's why it gets documented over and over again. Another project about the kids and the backyard, and you can see I got the trampoline and them on the trampoline with it spraying, and I'm just talking about how it's a typical day and, you know, an awesome week. So I just listed out some things right there, and I love it. It's a beautiful, like, time capsule of the year, which was 2018. Another way I love doing opening pages is by having decor that I can kind of show off the current season. So I'll have like a shelf with my decorations and then a selfie, and that will help me to open up the month that I'm going to be documenting. I also wanted to do an everyday page for October, and it wound up capturing a few pieces of home life. So my husband and I watching TV, a dollhouse project, and just watching TV. This one I loved, and I feel like I need to do it again because this is 2021. So it's been about 3 years. But Tracy Reed was coming out with a kit that was food themed. And I don't take a lot of pictures of food because I feel like I'm not very good at it. So I looked through my phone and was searching for kitchen or food, because you know how on iPhones you can search for keywords, and I was able to collect a lot of different photos, mostly taken during like week in the life or day in the life. But these photos stretch across, I think, a couple years, and I love it. It's a beautiful capture of all the different food that I'm making in the kitchen, even special treats and cleaning the kitchen, which we all know is near impossible. So I loved this one. It's definitely a special layout. And one last final example, again with my plants. I love them. I used Everyday Explorers stamps. Let me fix the camera. Made some cards to document all of my different plants. I had close-ups of various plants. So lots of different ways to document your home. On the ideas list, I have home for favorite spots in your home decorating your house, or decorating for the season. So now we're going to go into the final little section, which is going to be all about holidays, and it's going to be a lot of fun to share all the different holiday projects. Last section for the ideas about what to document with yourself is going to be all about holidays. This would include anniversaries, birthdays, regular holidays like, say, Halloween, Christmas, Mother's Day, if you celebrate those. Not sure if I put anniversaries or birthdays on the list, but that is definitely a possibility. So in this particular album, I documented 9 years and just used 2 photos right here, and then did a lot of embellishing and just put 9 years there and called it really done. Not much journaling needed to be added, I guess. I love documenting Mother's Day, and for this one I used a Mandy Ford collection and did a column of embellishments, crinkled up or crumpled the clouds to give them a little more texture, and I just love it. It's a very sweet layout with me and my kids on Mother's Day. This opening page over here, I'm not sure if I've shared it before, but I definitely made the intention to go with red, white, and blue because it was for July, and also because I was in a patriotic shirt and just went with that whole theme. Here's some celebrating October and, you know, the new month. I think that's also not necessarily considered a holiday, but still it's celebrating the month, celebrating, you know, the new season to come. I took a selfie right when the month started, and then I also took some silly, sassy selfies and decided to document those as well. And at the end of the album, you have my kids and I. It was 2020, I believe. And this is our Halloween photo. And then I did some ghost and lots of stamping in the background. A more recent project with the birthday story kit is documenting my birthday for 2023. I loved this photo, and my daughter had given me these necklaces to wear, so I played off of those purples and blues and added in some confetti in the background and printed it out that way up here as well, and also die cut the title and decided since it was my birthday, I would make it sparkly. And then I have the flip up for the journaling. Now, on my birthday, I am very thankful to get a lot of messages, and I decided to take all of those messages and the other things that happened throughout the day and just make a simple grid page, and I love how it came out. I noticed that there was a lot of green in my photos, and again, it's my favorite color, so I decided to go with that, keep it very simple with 2 pieces of paper, a chipboard, stamping, and done. And that's what we love, right? Simple projects that can be done quickly. Another Christmas type one, not directly celebrating Christmas, obviously, but I'm still documenting what we love about the holiday season. I have currently baking. You flip it up with my kids wrapping presents, another flip up with hot cocoa, and then one on Christmas Day. And this one, I love it. And I'm sure I mentioned this when I first showed this layout, but I love it. I just want to recreate this one over and over again because it's very simple and doable. Another Mother's Day page. This time I took several of the photos of us on the wall and made them black and white, and included one where we didn't sit on the wall, and then this one, and this is from 2023. I think this was part of, this was part of a walkthrough album that I did recently. But I made these labels here and flowers, and then added in a bunch of Scrap and Happy Studio flares. And I also took some of the flower paper that I had made and added it behind that acrylic piece. So definitely a really pretty layout, and I just love anytime I can include flashback photos. Also wanted to make sure that I share again, this was an album from, what did I write down? 2018. This is one of the albums that is unfinished. There is pages that are done, but then there is pages that are not done. And I think I wanted to document October. I stuck in some stuff and I never finished it. But this is October, and it definitely celebrates the holiday, but it just never got finished. And so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that sometimes things just do not get finished, and that's okay, and we just need to move on, right? Here's a fun one, and 2 holidays that I don't document regularly. I should put this on a list for next year. This is International Women's Day, and this is St. Patrick's Day. On International Women's Day, I took a bunch of screenshots of different Instagram artwork and printed them all out, and then used some digital stamps to add to the page, and that's it. But it's a really cool page. Like I said, it's not something I document that often. Same thing with St. Patrick's Day. I used a Snapchat filter with the hearts and the holiday saying there, and then also here. I paired it with a Tracy Reed collection, and I just love it. Love it. So I should add it to a list of things I want to make sure to document in the new year for 2025. A fun one about Halloween with my mom. I took some favorite photos and just put them in this page protector, and then made a fun little spooky vellum pocket here with some floating ghosts, and then stamped right here all kinds of different sentiments. So this was a fun page to put together, always showing the versatility of stamps, right? This one I also shared recently, but it was celebrating all of October, and not just Halloween, but the whole month. And I love how using a collage and shrinking it down really allowed me to capture a lot of the month. So I love that, and I think it's a really easy way to get a month documented. So this is another one where I'm kind of stretching the idea, but again, it's celebrating holiday of October, the season of October. I have lots of photos that represent October and, you know, different pieces. I need to glue that back down. A very fun page, one of my all-time favorite pages with this unique color scheme, and it's just a great way to document, like I said, the whole month. And here's one that doesn't really relate to 4th of July, except for this photo was actually taken on 4th of July. And I think what sparked this entire page was that in this particular month, I had noticed that my husband and I had taken 4 selfies, which never happens. So I knew that I had to document it, and I went with the color of red, white, and blue. Here's another example of documenting the holiday with December, and a great opening page with decor. Flip it up and you see more decor. And in the back, I documented New Year's Eve, which is not something I normally document either. So I'm so happy that I did document it. Got a big selfie here, lots of layering, and then over here, just a family photo. Another birthday page. I think I was a guest designer for Ellie's studio, and I was super nervous about making like a great page. Silly, I know, but I loved making this and making a big old like column of embellishments and the vellum pieces, and just having a lot of fun with the different layering to celebrate my birthday, adding in the stickers here, some black and white photos. Really fun layout. And then one last idea for holidays is 4th of July, which I've already kind of touched on 4th of July, but this one I specifically documented 4th of July with the selfie with my husband and 2 firecracker photos and a bunch of In a Creative Bubble products. So pretty simple layout overall, but lots of festive details. Okay, so that wraps up my ideas for holidays. I know that that was probably a shorter section, but I guess I need to do better about making sure that I document all the holidays. You know, I think it's because I document a lot of these holidays in Project Life, and so I never translate it into my albums, but that's okay. So for holidays, I have pick one and document what you love or dislike, holiday traditions, Halloween costumes, Christmas love, or whatever you celebrate in December, New Year's, Valentine's, if you want to, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 4th of July, and your birthday. And of course, any and all holidays that you celebrate, right? All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of these ideas over the last 4 videos. I would love a thumbs up or subscribe if you're new to my channel. I have absolutely loved putting together these videos for you and going through all of my albums. It's been just the best. All right, I hope you have a good day.